Okay. So, Module 4, Title 6, Crimes Against Public Morals, Articles 200 to 212 ata. Okay? So, Article 200, Grave Scandal. Okay, grave scandal is a highly scandalous act, offensive to morals, good customs, and decency committed in the public place or within public knowledge or public view. So, isa yun sa part ng exam nyo, di ba guys? By the way, sa exam, kalaulugot kayo ng iban, kaya why nag-answer ng essay. Ano man? Ano guys man? Na-check. Tapos ko na. Hello. Hello. Wala masyadong maganda signal. Okay lang. Sige lang. I won't be checking attendance. Ano lang. Plus points lang sa makasabat. Okay? So, nakatapos na ko sang check sa inyong midterms, pero may isang ay nakasubmit. So, I will not be discussing kung anong answer sa exam. Pero part ini siya, di ba, sa inyong exam. Okay? So, grave scandal, a highly scandalous act, offensive to good morals, good customs, and decency. So, dapat ara siya within public place, within public knowledge, or public view. So, like for example, guys, may karelasyon ka mo. Nag-sex ka mo sa plaza. Of all places, sa plaza. So, what crime is committed? Anyone for plus points? Scandal na. Okay, yes, Sheila, grave scandal. Okay, Sheila, ano yung section? Scandal, grave scandal. Okay. I know na si Sheila. Grave scandal, ma'am. Oh. Okay. Ang una ko lang guys, mabatian lang ano ha? Okay, si Sheila. Ano section mo, Sheila? Section A, ma'am. Okay. A, ma'am. 2A. Okay. May grave scandal. Amo na. Like for example, nag-sex mo ka mo sa sinihan. That's also grave scandal. But hindi lang siya in a public place. Hindi lang confined sa public place ang grave scandal. Like for example, sa balcony sang inyong balay, pero kitaon sa madam mga tao, that's still grave scandal. Okay? So, like, hindi ko lang pag-mention. Okay. Offenders perform acts. Among offenders of grave scandal perform acts or acts na highly scandalous, kaya offensive sa decency and good customs. Okay? So, it is necessary na scandalous na siya. Ang gintang ubra nila to morals, good customs, decency also. So, may ara gani isang old woman ko no, nag-lap dance siya sa isa ka young man. So, is that grave scandal? Anyone? Yes or no? Nag-lap dance ang old woman sa isa ka young man. Okay. Ang isa ka old woman, tigulang, lagi siya senior citizen, nagsaot sa samdo provocative nga saot, balado sexy dance, nag-sexy dance siya sa isa ka young man. So is that grave scandal? No, ma'am. Okay, kasono. Ano yung mga section kasono? Siya, alam mo, sa eligible. Kada ginahito. Kaya siya, grave scandal, is na may duway man na butangan eh. Kaya bang malaang duman siya mo daw basi kung may circumstances na daw. Okay, kasono, ano yung section? Section B. Section B, ma'am. Okay, very good. Kasono, amo to siya. Okay. Yes. Actually, kaya ang ruling, ang justification sa court, na naghambal siya nga English, scandalous is that old woman na siya. Hindi na sa, though hindi ka na bala, like, ang tao nga makakita, hindi na ma-skandalo. Kung makakita sa isang old woman na nag-sexy dance. So, it's just those sunlog na lang, di ba, hambal nila, kung tigulang ka, nagabalik ka sa pagkabata-bata, but then people are not aroused or scandalized with that specific act. Okay? Yes. Thank you, Manshila. That's also correct. Yeah, you become uli anon when you grow old, and then sometimes your actions are permissible just because you're tigulang na, di ba? So, ina lang na kay tigulang, naging man na siya mama na. Okay, that becomes justification. Okay? So, grave scandal is a crime of last resort. Amo na lang niya ang gina-file kung wala na sa giban nga case na pwede i-file. Okay? So, dapat amo ning pinakaulihi because this is a lower form of a crime. Lesser ang penalty. So, this is a crime of last resort. So, kung ang mga scandalous acts niya constitutes rape or anything else nga done in public place, like nag-rape siya sa public place, di ba? That's rape and not grave scandal. So, pinakaulihin mo na siya dapat i-file ang grave scandal kung wala ka naging sa iba nga crime na ma-file. Okay? Okay. Immoral doctrines, obscene publications, and exhibitions, and indecent shows. So this is also Article 201. This is also one of the crimes na punishable. Immoral doctrines, obscene publications, exhibitions, and indecent shows. So mga bold, mga amuni, mga amo na siya. Like for example, nag-print ka puro hubad nga magazine, di ba? That's obscene. So that's one of mga theaters nga mga nagahuba-huba nga mga babae. That's obscene. Some of those establishments, however, may mga permit sila and di ba lain man ang ma-prove kumbaga. It's a matter of proof mo. So like for example, wala sa may prostitution na siya gali, wala man sa may surveillance or something. So hindi sila maging liable. But then again, may mga front sila nga businesses. Okay. As selling, giving away of or exhibiting films, engraving, sculptures, literatures which are offensive to public morals. Okay. Isa ka illustration. So what if there is a building when the person entered the said building on the floor of this building may nagabaligya sa magazine. The magazines contain men and women engaging in sexual intercourse, naked women and men, and other obscene materials. So nag-print sila sang materials sang Kama Sutra. O wala na di sa sang minor sa inyo. Okay, so nag-print sila sa mga material. So who shall be held liable in the place that was raided by the police? So ang liable is the author of the literature, the editors na nag-publish sa magazine nga to, and they will be held liable under Article 201. Okay? Vagrants and prostitutes. Na-discuss na ni. Okay, vagrants. Vagrancy is no longer considered a crime. Okay? Prostitution is still a crime. But vagrancy hindi na siya crime. It is decriminalized already under RA number 10158, which was approved sa 2012 pa. Na-decriminalize ng vagrancy. About prostitution, there is still a crime of prostitution. So, anong definition sa isa ka prostitute? A prostitute is a woman who, for money or profit, indulges in sexual intercourse or lascivious conduct. Okay? So, pwede nga ubra ni isang amo nga movement para giniya sa iya nga pangkabuhayan, kumikitang pangkabuhayan. Okay, note that the law defines it to be a woman. Therefore, a man cannot be a prostitute. Sad. Gaya no? Naman. Okay. Crimes committed by public officers. One must be taking part in the performance of public functions in the government or must be performing in the said government. So, dapat public officer. Okay? Dapat nagubra sa gobyerno, any branches of the government or agent or a subordinate official of any rank or class. Sorry, sila hindi sila kasunod. Okay. That this authority to take part in the performance of public functions or to perform public duties must be A, by direct provision of law, B, by popular election, or C, by appointment by competent authority. So, dapat naka-take oath sila. Okay? So, there are three classifications of felonies or violations. So, it's either misfeasance, malfeasance, or non-feasance. So, anong difference? Kung misfeasance, a public officers perform official acts in a manner not in accordance with the provisions of the law. Okay? Kung malfeasance naman niya, the public officer performs in his public office an act prohibited by law. Okay? Kag, non-feasance, a public officer knowingly, willfully refuses or refrains from doing the act which it is his official duty to do. So, clear man, ang misfeasance niya may batas. Tapos, improper ang iya nga pag-perform sa what is being provided by the law. Sa malfeasance naman niya, pag-ubra sang something prohibited by law. So, nagalabag ka gid sa batas. Ang misfeasance kag malfeasance, ang difference na niya, ang misfeasance na ganyo guys, to nag-miss ka lang. I don't know there is a law, you know the law, but improper lang imo nga pag-apply sa law, okay? Or pag-perform sa imo nga duties according to that law. Sa malfeasance naman niya, you perform an act, but if that specific act is prohibited by law. And then for non-feasance naman niya, dapat mo ubrahon, okay? Dapat mo ubrahon amuning duties mo gid that you failed to do or you failed to do what is required of you sa law, okay? 204, Article 204 na kita, knowingly rendering unjust judgment. So, sino pwede maging offender sa amuning nga crime? Article 204, knowingly rendering unjust judgment. Anyone? Police officers mo. Sala. Judgment. Okay, Anne. Yes, correct, Anne. Anne? Ano section mo, Anne? Yes, thank you, Merkel. Okay, a judge, yes. D? Okay. So yes, knowingly rendering unjust judgment. So judgment, ibig sabihin ng judge. So yung judge, kung may gina-file sa iyang case, he must render a decision that is just. If it's unjust, he may be liable or pwede siya makasuhan sa crime under this title. Okay, but this is very rare na i-filean mo siya sa criminal case. Nevertheless, the law provides the aggrieved party some unjust judgment with remedies. And this is the remedy, knowingly rendering unjust judgment. So there are also judges who are suspended, who are being reprimanded because of the judgment or the irregularities in the judiciary. So dapat judge, he must render a judgment in a case submitted to him for decision. Would let me know judge, no? And then the judgment is unjust, and that the judge knows that his judgment is unjust. Kung good faith man lang siya ginapatihan niya, then he may, depende sa pag-prove niya sa court, then he may not be held liable. But then again, dapat ma-prove niya sa court, kag ang importante dire dapat balaan niya sang judge para maging liable siya sa crime na ni, dapat balaan niya ang niya nga ginarender na judgment is unjust. Okay? Unjust judgment is that which is contrary to law. Paano siya maging unjust? Dapat contrary to law and not supported by evidence or proof. Okay? Hindi siya nga error lang ang nagsala lang si judge or wala lang siya kabasa mayad sang mga recent jurisprudence or mga recent decisions na hindi siya maging maging criminally liable or administratively liable if it's from mere error or ill will. Okay. Sa di ka case, the judgment is an unjust judgment because it was based on this error in the interpretation of the law. However, there is no intent on the part of the said judge na mag-commit some such error. So in this case, the judge acted in good faith. Sala lang iya nga pag-interpret sa batas. Okay, so kung based on mere error, no criminal liability, no civil or no administrative liability. It is necessary that the unjust judgment is rendered out of ill motive or bad faith or out of greed, revenge, envy, or any other ill motive. So, ano na siya. Next, Article 205, judgment rendered through negligence. So again, who is the person liable here? 205, judgment rendered through negligence.
Judge, ma'am.
Okay. 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 Sige. Si Anne, Sheila, and Kasono. Yan, ihatag ko lang kay Van. Okay? Judge, yes, still judge. But this time, unlike sa PIHAC, ang knowing balaan niya yan, di ba? Kung wala siya kabalo, pwede nga maging liable man siya gyapon, but through negligence na. So, it is important that his negligence must be inexcusable. Dapat wala excuse si judge sa dapat walaan mo na, doon mo na balado, dapat wala siya sa excuse, inexcusable. Okay. So you can be held liable, if you're a judge, you can be held liable through negligence man also. Sa pag-render mo sang decision through negligence. 206, unjust interlocutory order. Also, a judge is the one who is responsible sa ammonia crime or maging offender. Okay, so he performs any of the following acts, knowingly renders unjust interlocutory order or decree. Guys, when we say interlocutory, hindi siya yung anong mga orders bala within the case. Like for example, mga decisions sa mga motions, like for example, kung mag-motion ka nga i-amend for example ang complaint. So those are interlocutory. Ibig sabihin hindi na siya ang pinaka-final judgment. Na siya guys, hindi na siya ang the resolution of the case. Those are just interlocutory kay it is a decision nga ginaobra ni judge nga may remedy pa ano ganito may remedy pa ang mahatagan sang decision, marenderan sa amo nga decision. Okay? So renders a manifestly unjust interlocutory order or decree through excusable negligence or ignorance. Okay, another Article 207, malicious delay in the administration of justice. So dapat, if you're a judge also, you should render your decision nga hindi ka man matamaan ka padugay-dugay, okay? So kung you maliciously, dapat may malice, may element of malice. You maliciously delayed the administration of justice to inflict damage sa party, sa either party, or sa isa ka party, then you can be held liable. Sa Article 207, malicious delay in the administration of justice. You should have a deliberate intent or dapat may malice kagid. Article 208, prosecution of offenses, negligence and tolerance. Okay, punishable acts by maliciously refraining from instituting prosecution against violators of the law, or by sa amo niya crime, dapat balaan, he knows that a crime was committed but does not prosecute the offender. So ari naman niya ang mga persons nga malliable sini are those who are in charge of the prosecution. Okay, who are the public officers who are in charge with the prosecution? So anyone? Van, ano ganin mo section, Van? Hello, Van. Calling Van.
Section A, ma'am.
Okay, yes, 2A. Okay.
Okay, ma'am, section A.
Ay, yala, delete. Okay, charged with the prosecution. Who are the persons nga charged with the prosecution? Sino ang mga tao nga dapat mag-prosecute?
Police officer, ma'am.
Okay. Kung may madakpan ng pulis, di nila ginadiretso sa police station. Okay, tapos di nila ginafailan kaso.
Okay, ma'am.
Di nila ginafailan kaso.
Sa court, ma'am. Sa court, ma'am.
Okay, sa court sila ga-file sang case. Before sa tunga-tunga sang police kag sang court diin nagakadto ang
Attorney, ma'am.
sa abogado.
Prosecution office, ma'am.
Okay, correct. So nagakadto na sila sa prosecutor's office because ang prosecutor ang correct. Okay. Ilan tao kung may probable cause. Very good, Anne. So, magdakop, like for example, by bust. By bust, ara man si prosecutor. So, pag na by bust, or like for example, hindi na lang by bust, nadakpan siya mag-commit sang crime. Kuno abi na nakaw siya, tapos na-caught in the act siya, nagapang nakaw siya. Dalo na siya sa police station, tapos diretso sa prosecutor's office for inquest, di ba? So, ang naga-prosecute sa mga accused is a prosecutor. So, he can be a public prosecutor. Ang ara sa mga prosecutor's office natin, they are public prosecutors. Tapos, pwede man, kung ma-employ sa isang private lawyer, ang victims, for example, rape, ang victims ma-employ gid siya sa private prosecutor, then that private prosecutor is a prosecutor man. Pero dapat mag-appear siya na may authority siya sa state or under siya sa under siya sa dapat may authority siya mag-appear from the prosecutor. What's the term gani? Never mind. Okay, basta fiscals, prosecutors, and state prosecutors, Those are the ones nga naga-file gid sa case. They determine kung may probable cause, and then kung may probable cause pa sa kanila sa court. Okay? So very good, guys. You know the functions ng prosecution. Okay. So sila ang maging liable dire nga crime, negligence and tolerance. So kung balaan Manila nga guilty, and then pero hindi nila find ang probable cause, gin-dismiss nila, for instance, for one thing kung no probable cause, when it is very obvious or evident na may probable cause, then liable siya for this. Another act na pwede niya maubra is by maliciously tolerating the commission of offenses. Maliciously tolerating, gina-tolerate niya lang ang pag-commit ng offenses. Dapat may malice. Absent malice, Article 208 will not apply. Okay? The elements for dereliction of duty, when we say dereliction of duty, pagpabaya sa duty of the prosecution of offense in the prosecution of offenses. The offender is a public officer or officers. Nagsiga na. Offender is a public officer or officers. There is dereliction of duty in his office. He knows that someone has committed a crime, and then he does not want to cause the prosecution of the criminal, knowing that the crime was already committed. He tolerates its commission. And the offender acts with malice and deliberate intent in favor of the violator of the law. This is dereliction. Okay? Those who can cause the prosecution of offenders, judges, barangay chairman also, and other persons in authority. Betrayal of trust by an attorney or solicitor. Revelation of secrets. So, sino naman niya ang maging liable sa amuning crime? Article 209. Who are the offenders?
Attorney.
Correct.
Attorney, ma'am.
Sino to?
Sorry.
Si John? Ikaw to, John?
Attorney.
Okay, yes. John, attorney. Ano section mo?
A, ma'am. A.
Wow, active ang A. I love section A. Joke lang, wala akong favorite. Okay, acts punished. Yes, Marshall. Yes, please.
If the judge, ma'am, commit a crime, tapos napamatutan, sino ang mahabol ng tawaran? Sino ang mapirma, ma'am, ang another judge, ma'am?
When you charge a judge with a crime, hindi na sa judge dayon nga amo niyo. 'Di ba kung kasuhan mong judge, sometimes ikaso mo na sa iya, hindi sa iya nga own court. Syempre another judge ang ma-judge sa iya. Tapos i-suspend na siya. So that hindi niya possibly ma-influence ang decision sa another judge. So, amo na siya, another judge na or another person ang maano sa iya, another person ina ang ma-judge kung guilty of the commission of the crime. Okay, hindi man isa lang ang judge. Hindi man isa lang ang judge. Okay, Merkael, ano yung section? Okay. Thank you for that wonderful question. Wow, universe. Well, anyway, amo na siya. Syempre, iba naman yung judge ang ma-hear sang iya nga kaso. Okay, betrayal of public trust. Sino to gani kagina ang nagsabat? Si John to, no? Nga attorney. Okay. Betrayal of public trust. So, ang attorney, kung may, like for example, ang abogado, kung may gina-confide sa iya, or may hambal sa iyang kliyente, dapat i-keep niya na as a secret because may ara kami nga ginatawag nga confidentiality clause. Kung abogado ka, hindi ka pwede mag-testify against your client, di ba? That's another inadmissible evidence under sa rules of evidence. So, dapat, if you're a lawyer, you should keep your professional duty to keep it a secret or keep it confidential ang mga ginpanghambal sa mga client. So, if a client admits to you that he is guilty, you should not tell others nga ay guilty man na siya pero sige lang dipinsahan ko siya ramuni or mo to. Diba? You keep your oath nga as a lawyer kay amo na gani nagpalapit ay sa imong kliyente because he has a problem and he wants you to help him or her with that problem. So it is your duty as a lawyer. It's your professional duty to keep your client's secret a secret. Okay? So by causing damage to his client either by maliciously breaching his professional duty or by inexcusable negligence or ignorance. Betrayal of trust. Not only secrets, guys, but ang pagiging inexcusable nga ang negligence ginis mo sang lawyer nga hindi nga the inexcusable nga negligence ang isa ka lawyer. Duwa diri ang act Spanish, causing damage to the client because of his breach of professional duty and inexcusable negligence or ignorance. Like wala mo na perform ang duty mo mayan. Kay like for example, before some hearing, nag-inom kaya or nag-ano ka, so wala ka na, though you were not at your best, or may mga gin-commit ka nga mga sala-sala because of or di man wala mo na studyhan mayan ang case, tapos or nag-file ka out of time, mga mo na bala guys, and it caused damage to your client. Or revealing secrets. So, kung mag-reveal ka ng secrets, damage is not necessary. Duwanin mo kung inexcusable negligence and ignorance or breach ang professional duty lang, dapat may damage. Pero kung nag-reveal ka ng secret, damage is not necessary. Biskan wala pa sang damage ang yung client nga na-sustain because ginchismis mo siya sa iban, then you'll be liable sa money. And third, by undertaking the defense of opposing party in the same case without the consent of his first client. After having undertaken the defense of the said first client or after having received confidential information from the said client. So, if the client consents to the attorneys taking the defense of another party, there is no crime. So, dapat guys, kung, di ba may duwa ka parties ang nagakontrahanay. Kung sa civil case, ang complainant or ang plaintiff, and then the respondent o the defendant. So, kung ara ka na sa plaintiff, dapat hindi ka magsaylo nga maging abogado ka sang defendant. Okay? Gets niyo kung ginamin? Basta dapat hindi ka mag-cross sang panig. Hindi pwede maghalin sang panig. Kung maghalin ka sang panig, dapat with the consent of your first client. So kung naghalin ka sa plaintiff kay Why ka nangyari? For example, ginabayaran, so mahalin ka siya, nag-resign ka siya, hindi ka pwede maging abogado sang defendant. Okay? Amo na siya. And you cannot take their defense. Causing damage to the client. There are examples. Dire. Okay, 209, bribery. Bribery. In your own words, paano nyo ma-describe ang bribery? Dali na lang yun, guys. Sorry, nagaba ko. Short lang siya, pero do... Yes, Alvin? Okay, pagbaton para mag-ubra sang... Okay, very good. Correct, Alvin. Ano section mo, Alvin? E? Echo? C. Okay. So, bribery. Bribery, agreeing to perform or by performing in consideration of any offer. Suhol. Kwarta, biskan na present lang na, it need not to be money, an act constituting a crime. So, ang crime maging commit ni nga isang pagwaon ang isa ka preso, di ba? That's a crime. So, bribery. Sino na the offender be a public officer within the scope of 203. The offender accepts an offer that such offer or promise be accepted or received by the public officer in view of the of committing some crime, and that the act which the offender agrees to do or which he executes be connected with the performance of his official duties. So dapat duty na again. Or by accepting gift in consideration of the execution of an act which does not constitute a crime, pwede man hindi crime, in connection with the performance of his official duty. The elements, dapat public officer siya, dapat nag-accept siya sang gift or present. Such offer must be accepted, received by the public officer in consideration of an execution of an act, and then the offender agrees to perform which he executes be connected with the performance of his official duties. Or hindi siya mag-ubra. Hindi lang ni siya guys act, pati omission. Or hindi siya mag-ubra sang dapat kinanglan niya ubrahon in consideration of the gift or promise. Okay, so tatlo guys. Una, mag-perform siya sang something nga nga that specific act constitutes the commission of the crime. Second, mag-ubra siya sang ang offender, ginsuhulan siya para mag-ubra sang something nga hindi man necessarily a crime, but connection dapat sa iyang official duty. And thirdly, hindi siya mag-ubra sang dapat niya ubrahon kay nabayaran siya. Okay? So that's bribery. Okay. Guys, ano ang crime niya sang nagasuhol? Like for example, di ba to see... Okay, ang mother, ang nanay, suhulan niyang nagabantay sa presuhan para makagawa niya bata. Okay, ano ang crime naging commit sang mother?
Direct bribery.
Hindi.
Direct bribery. Corruption of public officials.
Okay, yes, May.
Untitled Chapter. Ma'am,
Ano section mo, May?
Section D, ma'am, Delta.
Ano sabat mo, May?
Delta. Corruption of public official.
Okay, correct. Ang mother, liable siya sa corruption of public official. The bribery is the crime committed by someone nga nag-receive sang bribe. Okay? The crime nga gina-commit sang someone nga nagahatag sang bribe is corruption of public official. Very good name. Okay? Indirect bribery is when offender accept gifts. Wala man may ginapobra siya, pero the gift is given to him or her by reason of his or her office. So, mere acceptance, punishable. Kung wala gin-accept, like for example, ginbilin lang sa table sa public official, no crime has been committed. Okay? Qualified bribery, 211A, qualified siya kung entrusted with law enforcement ang offender. Okay? So kung police officer siya entrusted with law enforcement, qualified ang bribery niya. Okay? Like police officers, so on and so forth. Okay, so we will end here, guys. Thank you so much. We will start our next lecture naman niya sa article 212. So thank you for your time. Sheila, Casono, Ann Van, Jan, Merkel, Alvin, and Maria May. You get points for today. Thank you so much for attending this class. Dali lang tabianay screenshot. Kaya napansin ko ay ko galit yun na pumutang sa ako wala nga ganun. Sa ako na accomplishment report. Okay. Thank you so much. Halong kamo.